This is the biggest story from India. Thousands of doctors are on strike across the country. Delhi, Pune, Kolkata, everywhere it's the same story. Doctors have put down their scrubs. They're seeking justice for one of their own, a young doctor who was raped and murdered in Kolkata. She was 31 years old. She was a second-year student at the R.G. Kar Medical College, and her story will make your blood boil. On Thursday, she was on duty. At around 2 a.m. in the morning, she finished her dinner. Then she wanted to get some rest. The medical college did not have an on-call room, so she tried the seminar room, and that's where horror struck. A civic volunteer brutally raped and murdered her. She had injuries all over her body. Even her eyes and mouth were bleeding, and her neck bone was broken. And don't forget where all of this happened, inside a medical college. The police have apprehended the killer. The college principal has been transferred to a different campus. Transferred, not terminated. But this controversy does not end here, because it reveals a larger problem, the problem of our broken medical system. And that's why doctors are protesting. Yes, they want accountability in this case, but they also want larger reforms. And we say it's about time. This is a country of 1.4 billion people, so health isn't just another welfare issue, it is a strategic priority for us. Look at the state of our medical infrastructure, underfunded and lagging. India has 7.3 doctors per 1,000 people, 7.3 per 1,000. Pakistan has 10.8. China has 24, the United States has 35. So the gap is pretty wide. Now the government has been trying to fix this. The number of medical colleges is up 82% in the last 10 years. The number of MBBS seats is up 112%. So the number is going up, the quantity is going up, but that alone is not enough. The journey from a student to a doctor is quite a tough one. You start with a NEET entrance exam. This year's test was mired in controversy. Leaked papers, controversial grace marks, a Supreme Court case, you name it, NEET had it. But suppose you clear the test. You make it to a medical college. The government ones won't cost you very much, but the private ones charge a lot, around 1 crore rupees for a 4.5-year course. And it's a brutal course. Look at the data from 2018 to 2023. More than 150 MBBS students dropped out. So did more than 1,100 PG students, plus 122 students died by suicide. The reasons are mostly the same across colleges: academic pressure, burnout, and mental health challenges. Suppose you too are feeling the same. You don't think the course is worth it, so you want to drop out. Well, tough luck. Most states make you sign contracts or bonds. They come in two basic forms: a seat-leaving bond and a service bond. Colleges charge a fine if you abandon your course. It is considered a waste of medical resource. And guess how much the fine is? Between 5 lakh and 50 lakh rupees. That is what you pay as fine. It depends on which state you're in. 5 to 50 lakh rupees. The second bond requires you to work in government hospitals or clinics. Again, the details differ. The bond can last between 1 and 5 years. The fine is between 10 lakh and 1 crore rupees. So basically, the student is boxed in. First, they spent half a decade in medical colleges, then another half a decade in state healthcare. Do you know what's common in both? Poor standards. Take a look at this report. Almost 80% of India's medical colleges do not meet regulatory criteria. The hostels are poor, the infrastructure is old, the faculty is absent, and ragging is rampant. This is the condition in 4 out of 5 colleges, and this is where students spend half a decade. Then they head to state healthcare. Again, the same situation. 80% of public health centers are below par, and don't forget the salary, just a fraction of what private hospitals pay. Which is why brain drain is such a big issue among Indian doctors. You're not getting paid well. The facilities are poor. So why would you stick around? Around 59,000 Indians work as doctors in the US, Britain, Canada, and Australia. They make up 5% of the US workforce, 11% of the UK's. And can you blame them? After all this struggle, anyone would put money first. The question is, how do we fix it? Obviously, government funding is a big problem. Lancet magazine says India only spends 1.2% of its GDP on health. Compare that to China. They spend around 7% of their GDP on health. So in this case, throwing money at the problem is a solution. Maybe it could have saved that doctor's life in Kolkata. And we're not talking about complicated upgrades. Even simple ones may have helped, like having a separate on-call room, or more lighting in corridors, or more security personnel, or more CCTV cameras. Our doctors clearly deserve it. Just think back to the Wuhan virus pandemic. These same doctors rescued us. They worked, while you worked from home, they put in 24-hour shifts. They went days without taking a break, without seeing their family. So we as a nation must repay them. Not just by banging pots outside our house, but by spending more on India's medical infrastructure.
Climate change is on our doorstep. It's time for a revolution to take root. And it starts with 1.4 billion Indians. It starts with one tree for humanity, one tree for Mother Earth, one tree for our future. Project One Tree, a News 18 network initiative.
On the today, the T20 World Cup bandwagon has moved across to the West Indies. What can you expect from this?
Hello, I'm Alice Green, coming to you from Durban, South Africa. Today we have a special show.
Start with a report on India's shifting nuclear posture. For the first time since India officially became a nuclear power.
Hello and welcome to Firstpost America. I'm Aaron Ham, coming to you live from the nation's capital in Washington, D.C.